Hello. Welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 392. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. And this is a talk episode where the tutors talk.
And I remembered how to do the intro.
Proud of you. You really struggled the other day.
I didn't even know what was happening, dude.
You were having like a seizure or something.
Yeah, dude. Little epileptic shock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's new? What's going on? What's happening?
Let me tell you guys something. I really love 8 hours of sleep. But if I do not get up and start doing something, I go full retard.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
you do.
I'll just fucking morning gone, 2 hours, 3 hours gone. I can't even, I have to get up and get moving immediately doing stuff or it's over. And we had Whiskeria, and so I had to bed at like 11:30. Oh. And I usually get up at 5:30. And I was like, I'm going to need more than 6 hours of sleep. So I'm going to sleep till 6:30. Well, I ended up sleeping until like 7:30. And it was like, I woke up at 5:30 because internal alarm clock. Then I go back to bed till 6:30. I get up and then I lay back down to cuddle Mimi. And then it's 7:30. I'm like, Jesus. Then it took me 2 hours to leave the house.
I don't understand how you do it.
I'm like, what am I even doing? Like, I don't even know how to function.
Yeah. Actually, no. Even with baby, after feeding, so not including feeding time, I can still get out of the house in half an hour.
I don't know what's wrong with me, dude. I'm just like, for some reason, it just takes me, Brooke says it best, over dicking around.
Yeah, you really do.
I'm like, I got time, so I'll put out a podcast. Oh, I scroll my phone for a few minutes. I like, banana.
And then he even goes on his computer to do work, but then he actually goes to Facebook and goes on Marketplace.
That has not been a thing since I got my car. Thank you very much. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Okay.
I haven't done that since the car once. Maybe one. I did it once. Once on a Saturday. All right? Chill. Damn, dude. My truck's done?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but real quick before we go into the truck. Necessary for me. It is better for me to just get up with lack of sleep and start executing than to stay in sleep. Because then my day's just fucked up.
And it's funny too, because I remember like in the past, like if you woke up past 7, you're just like, half my day's gone. Half my day's gone. And then you just fuck off.
It's just ruined, dude.
Yeah. I don't understand.
I don't know, dude.
Literally, so Shaun wakes up past 7 o'clock. He thinks half his day is gone and then just fucks off the morning.
I just fuck off, dude. It's so bad. Toxic trait.
Yeah, that's really bad. And I just like sit there and feeding baby and I'm just like, what are you doing?
I don't know. So there's that. But my truck's done.
Yeah.
Got a call today.
Yeah. Best call you could have gotten.
I wasn't expecting it.
No, I mean, we thought it was going to be in there for what, another month yet?
We thought, dude, another month. And just yesterday, for whatever reason, it came in my mind yesterday. And I was like, man, I'm probably not going to see that truck for at least a month or two. And then I get a call, dude. It just makes me so happy. Here's the deal. Was I capable or am I capable of doing the work it needed? You bet. However, I'm so glad I brought it in. Mm-hmm. So glad. Do you know why I'm so glad?
I'm so happy you brought it in.
Let me tell you. These guys have worked on this shit their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
They knew exactly what they needed to order for parts. They knew, because I had to get multiple things transition back to factory. Multiple things. And I would have had no idea how, I could have, I'm capable and I could have figured it out for sure. But these dudes knew exactly because they've worked on these. They're just like, this is everything we need. This is what we got to do. Boom. And, beautiful, dude. Everything's done. So no one gives a fuck.
No.
But, everything's done. and I can just drive this thing. I just got to grab, I got to get in alignment, and I can just drive this thing. And I'm so fucking jacked.
So you can tow trailers with it then.
Tow trailers. Oh, yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
Oh, dude, I'm so jacked. The best part is, right? It's a fairly, like, the frame's rust free. There's a little bit of rust on a couple spots of the body, but it came from, where'd it come from?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Came from Mississippi. I looked at like rust free F-250s with 351s in the area, and some of them have better paint jobs, but they go for around 12. And I was like, well, anywhere from 9 to 12. And so I was like, well, I would want, since it's not like a pristine paint job, I would want to be under 9. You know what I'm saying? Rust free under 9, and I'm at 7. So I'm very happy with that.
That's good.
I'm very happy with that. So
yeah, because an alignment won't cost much.
No, $150.
Yeah.
But then I will need to get tires before this winter, so that will be a good fucking bill.
Yeah.
But that's just, you got to do that with every vehicle you have anyway. So like getting the truck to where I want the truck to for under that 9 makes me really happy.
That's good.
Yep.
What else happened?
You tell me.
We were on a podcast, a different podcast, the Pay It Forward podcast.
Yep.
With Austin and Keegan.
There you go.
There we go.
Atta girl. Yeah, Austin Seward and Keegan. I'm not even gonna act like I know. Keegan Walls. Boom.
I was thinking Mills, so I'm glad.
Yeah,
Walls. We would have gotten there. Yeah.
We'd have gotten there.
Good job.
Invite us down to be on the Pay It Forward podcast and chat about business, life. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
First time on another podcast.
Yeah.
It was a great time. Yeah.
Their setup is
gangster.
Way more extreme than ours.
Very professional. They got a very professional setup going on. It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And they take it serious. They do reels. They like promote. Like they have a actual podcast business.
Yeah. I was able to ask a couple questions of like some of the stuff they have. So when we move our podcast studio, we'll probably be getting a couple things to make it a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of Shaun's big things that he wants is to be able to switch camera views.
I think it's cool.
I think it is cool. So I was able to find out what they use for that. So I'll probably do some more research, make sure that's what we want, and go from there.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. I don't know. We're debating on if we want to upgrade microphones. These ones really aren't bad. The sound quality is really good on them. I like these ones better than the
big time.
Those
Yetis.
ones. Yeah, the Yetis. The sound quality is just more consistent on these. So we have 4 Yetis, and they all are at different levels.
Yeah, they're weird. I'm glad we don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
We should. Oh, because we have to use them sometimes, right? Like Kyle had to use one the other day.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll probably be getting 4 microphones for the new studio.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we'll always have like these as backups or something.
Right.
But yeah, so I got some fun ideas that I'm really excited about. Yeah, it was just so weird sitting there because I was just like, you have like 6 cameras, and we use my phone.
Gang, gang. Yeah, it was really cool.
It was.
Yeah, I like they had like an outline, and we just talked. But the outline was nice. The outline actually gave me ideas of topics we could chat about.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is really cool.
And then Shaun had to, act like he was the host and
I
ask
did.
them some questions.
I just was curious, dude. I had to ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
How often are they getting asked questions on the pod?
No, probably never.
You wanna know what always blows my mind? I'm so different than almost everyone. I will tune in to people like Chris Williamson, Ed Milet, Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to just hear those guys. Like, I like hearing their input and their opinion.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, especially with Ed Milet and Chris Williamson, they will get so deep into interviews, you barely get their feed. Like, you miss a lot of their points of views on things.
Mm-hmm.
And it steers me away from, I end up not finishing a ton of their podcasts because I'm like, I want to hear I listen to this for, like, that's where I'm different than a lot of people. Like, I listen to it for the hosts over the guests.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, in my brain, when we're down there, it's like, well, you guys are I want to hear your guys' opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's good to have a back and forth of, like, both sides.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, that's very true. Because that's what's, like, cool about, like, the Rogan podcast is, like, they know it's going to go on for as, like...
3 hours. I love Rogan.
Right. So then you can always have that back and forth of asking him questions as well.
Yeah. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really good. And that, yeah, PBD podcast, they're always kind of doing like a round table thing, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Andy's, I like Andy's. Sometimes he's got some pretty cool guests on, and I wish he'd ask him a little more questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that layout better on Real AF when they have guests where they just like have them as a part of the show.
Yeah.
I like that more because I still like, why am I listening to Real AF? I'm listening for Andy and DJ. And so, like, if they've got guests on, I want to know. I like how they've been doing it recently. They'll spend like 30 to 40 minutes in the beginning.
Like making it interview type more.
More just not even necessarily, yeah, more interview type. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like they're getting to know them, chatting about things, whatever. And then they roll into like cruise the internet. So, like, I still get why I went there, but I also get to understand the guests they had on.
That was nice.
Yeah. And that's what I like about, like, I love that about the podcasts that don't have a time hack.
Mm-hmm.
So you can really, because, like, yesterday on the Pay It Forward podcast, it's an hour long.
Yeah.
Which, huge perks to that, because then you time block an hour, and it is what it is. That's, like, and that's awesome. And a lot of people won't listen to 3-hour podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, me, dude, I would just fucking listen to it. I just listened to a 3-hour podcast.
Dude, and when you get, like, in a good conversation, like, we could have easily gone for another 20, 30 minutes.
I did. We could have went for another hour easy.
Yeah.
Easy could have went for another hour. Keegan and I would have had to go to the bathroom, but it would have been an easy another hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just, like, hard because, like, we were thinking about it afterwards, and we're like, oh, we didn't get to talk about this on the podcast. We didn't get to talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I looked up at the clock, it was at 50 minutes, and I was like, oh, wow, that went fast.
It went fast, and really, from, like, basing off the outline, we covered 20%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we could have freaking ripped for another hour easy.
Oh, yeah.
But I understand, like, I get it, right? They have it the way they have it, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And so, but yeah, that's why I want to, like, ask some questions and stuff, because I actually like hearing the feedback from the hosts, especially when I'm listening to shows.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. It was cool. It was different.
Different. It was a really good time.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna try maybe getting on another one.
Another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are too. Oh my god. Yeah.
I just want to see their setup too. So.
Oh, dude, I know. Between Two Wrenches.
How many episodes do they have?
I know, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, it's so funny because we, the Paid For podcast is on like episode like 65-ish or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, and like they've like had a couple reels like get millions of views.
Oh, bro, and they had 1,000 subs like instantly.
Yeah, and we're just like, Here we are, almost 400 episodes, and we have
like 100 something subs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we should probably start doing something with our life here one of these days.
Yeah. We're just more focused on our business versus this.
Oh, yeah. Like and our child.
Yeah. The child's been hindering videos, if you haven't noticed, guys. I am sorry.
Between two wrenches.
Are they like actively posting right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. That's such a neat name for a podcast.
Okay, so they've got 30.
Okay.
30 episodes. And the origin story.
Ooh.
Nice. That's so cool, dude. But yeah, Phil, who I trained jiu-jitsu with, I believe it's him and his business partner. They own Max Built, and they have a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't Max from the gym work at a mechanic shop?
Used to,
okay.
yep. But now he does something else. That's so cool, dude. Yeah, so I'll hit him up, see if we can go on that. That'd be fun.
It would just be nice to get like more ideas of a better setup and stuff to get before we start buying stuff.
Right, for sure. For sure.
You can start off with a pod like pretty cheaply for podcast stuff. You just have to have like a semi-decent computer, not even just a decent computer. These mic stands I think were 150 each, 100.
Right.
Get the nicer ones.
You can get your fucking tablet and you can use 2 Rode mics.
Oh yeah, that's actually the cheapest you could do. Yeah. Yeah, because the Rode mics sound really good actually.
Right.
But if you want to sit in chairs like this, I mean, yeah, these mic stands were 150 each. These microphones were 150 each.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not too pricey, 600.
No, it's not bad at all.
No.
Sweet. What else we got going, babe?
Tomorrow's Jazz Fest. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So when this comes out today, will be Jazz Fest. I didn't realize Jazz Fest started in like 2013.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of the professors at the university wanted to bring back like the like Roaring 20s kind of feel. And yeah, just like started it randomly in 2013.
How about that professor that flipped the table over on campus?
Dude, that's crazy. So April 1st was election day. I don't know if it was everywhere or just in Wisconsin. But so it was election day. We were voting for Supreme Court and
school district thing.
Superintendent.
Yeah, school superintendent.
Yeah, for the state of Wisconsin, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously a couple other local ones. The local ones were dumb, though, because it was like, oh, there's 3 spots open. There's 3 people on the ballot.
I'm going to be honest with you. The government's too corrupt. 1, we know that. Thank you, Doge. 2, we got to get more fucking talent in the government, dude. The fact that when you have people running for office, they don't have anyone they're running against.
Yeah, they just get in.
I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about, dude? We need people competing. We need to be actually choosing. We need to have like good people going into office.
Yeah.
Instead, we've got these fucking literal idiots.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So we had an election going on, and the campus is a polling place for the college students, obviously, and the campus Republicans, is that what they're called?
Yeah, it's the Republican Party Club.
Yeah. They had a table set up on campus promoting Brad Schimmel, who is the Republican justice candidate. And English professor came up and I think tried telling him that they couldn't have their table there. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, nope, we can. Like, we're allowed to be here. We are promoting our candidate, blah, blah, blah. And then the professor flips their table.
Is it a man?
It's a man.
What a fucking pussy.
And the best part is it was the department head. So not just a regular professor, the department head.
What a fucking...
Yep. So the university has stripped him of their department head title, obviously. And right now they're on work leave until they do an investigation on him. But like the Eau Claire County Republican Party office pretty much told the university, like, this person should be held accountable and should be fired from their job.
100%.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, people are going to have their political preferences. You can't just go ahead and flip a table.
Especially in what should be a non-biased place of learning.
Yeah.
Like, that's what education's supposed to be, is non-biased. And, dude, I noticed... I will admit, in high school, it was pretty non-biased for me.
Yeah.
Like, in high school, growing up, it was pretty non-biased. But that was, like, 2013 is when I graduated. So, it was pretty non-biased.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there wasn't a whole lot of political shit going on. At least I didn't think so. Dude, as soon as I got to UW-Eau Claire, first semester, I had an English teacher.
Mm.
First day of class, first day of class, she introduced herself as a feminist. And she asked me if I was a feminist. And I was like, no, I'm not. And she's like, by the end of the semester, you will be. And she's like, I'll be sure of that. And I was like, good luck. That class, I almost failed. Because, dude, she fucked me every which way till Sunday. I'm actually grateful for her because I got really good at writing. Because, dude, she was giving, like, I've talked about it on here before. I would write a paper. I'd have my mom proofread it. I would send it to my cousin Randy, who then she would proofread it. And I would get it back, proofread it again, submit it, and get a D. And I'm like, this isn't fucking possible, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is writing 101. Or it's like writing 104. I'm like, what is going on? Dude next to me, you couldn't read his fucking paper because he's retarded. And, well, he was a nice guy. I shouldn't say that. He was a nice guy. But he wasn't good at writing.
Mm-hmm.
And couldn't read his damn paper. A. Or B+.
Because he was a feminist?
Because he did not tell the teacher that he was not a... And I guess you saw what I looked like back then. I looked like I probably was coming out of the Aryan Nation.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
A skinhead?
A skinhead. So because she like only called me out. So I'm like a jacked skinhead. And she calls me out of anyone else in the class.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a feminist? And I'm like, no. So she just fucks my life.
Damn, dude.
But anyways, that's when I realized that, like, schools weren't biased.
Mm-hmm.
And UW-Eau Claire's only gotten worse since then.
Yeah, especially in a role like that, like, you're supposed to be someone that these young, impressionable kids are looking up to. So you should always be leading a good example. Always.
Yeah, dude, literally, that made me disrespect women of power so much more.
Yeah.
It did the opposite of making me a feminist.
I will say I do remember I never saw bias in my high school until my senior year, which was in 2011 when Scott Walker was planning on getting rid of some teacher benefits, I think it was.
Yeah, he was messing with the unions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that was the only time that I saw it. And as seniors, like, teachers encouraged us to go down to the Capitol and, like, protest. And because I don't know if you remember, but there was, like, those huge protests happening in Madison.
That's right.
So, like, there was buses from Eau Claire going down there. And since we were seniors, like, we could sign ourselves out and go down.
Did you go down?
I never did.
Nice.
A lot of my friends did.
Radicals.
I liked school too much.
That makes sense.
Yep. But I did support it at the time because, like, my best friend's parents were teachers. And I, like, was close to all my teachers. So, like, obviously I was like, yeah, I don't want you to lose these benefits or whatever.
Yeah, dude. I mean, at the time, with Scott Walker and stuff, the unions and the teachers and all that stuff. My dad was in the union and stuff, and so I was like, man, fuck this guy. And now that I'm an adult, I laugh and I'm like, unions shouldn't exist.
Yeah,
unions are a joke.
It's just interesting because like I've always been pretty Democratic, but that was just because like
Same.
It was always like what was affecting my life. So like I think it was also Scott Walker was like decreasing UW funding as well. And I was just like, well, I'm going to the UW school, like I need to make sure they survive so I get a good education. Still didn't help that.
Did not help, dude.
But right, so I like voted for the things that like mattered to me. Now, like we own our own business, so obviously I'm gonna want taxes to be lower, and I'm gonna vote for the person that's gonna lower my taxes.
Yep.
So it's just how it goes.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a huge role, but then I mean, at least for me, as we age, and we talk about all the time, like our values and our standards and our morals and stuff. You know, most politicians suck. Both sides.
Dude, I don't know what most politicians stand for except for their abortion plans, what?
Every one of them.
Pretty much just abortion. That's really all I feel like I know.
Talk about, dude. It's all they. Oh my God, this person doesn't want to kill kids. I'm like, wow, shocker.
Or
crazy.
Who pays for whoever. Because like this last election, Crawford was supported by Soros, or was being paid for by Soros.
God,
and then Elon Musk supported Brad Schimmel.
Yeah.
I was just like, I know more about this than what they actually stand for, what they've actually done with their careers.
Exactly.
It was so dumb.
It's just ridiculous. But I mean, you look at it, and I look at so much of that stuff now, and it's like I just don't align. Like values wise, I don't align with most of the Democrats.
Yeah.
It's just it's when you talk about democracy, it's not what Democrats are. They're communists. They're communists now.
Well, yeah, when they say they're for the working people and then they vote against the bill that's supposed to help the working
people. It doesn't
people.
make any fucking sense, dude. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and they're like, nope.
And no tax on Social Security.
And no tax on oh my God, dude. Thank you. I'm like, this is for the everyday average American, and you're saying no?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You are not for the people.
No, not at all. Yeah, and guess who was freaking out the most about the stock market crashing?
Democrats.
Yeah.
Because they have all their money in it.
Yeah.
Because they're corrupt. And I'm not saying Republicans aren't corrupt. It's just look at the scorecard. How many more multi 8-figure plus millionaires are Democrats? Way more. And here's the deal. When you make $174,000 a year, $174,000 a year, you live in D.C., guess what? You should not be worth 8 figures.
No.
I do not care. Tell me how the fuck that math is out. Okay? How does that math out?
Doesn't.
174 a year. You live in D.C., one of the most expensive places to live, and somehow you're worth 30 mil? Some of them are worth like a couple $100 million on 170.
Dude, even like
Math it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed it. Like, how did the Obamas get so rich while they were in office? Their salary's only $400
$400,000 a year. $400,000 a year. How you?
And they were able to build a fucking house on the coast of Hawaii.
Yeah.
What?
Weird.
How?
Wait, for $1.6 million. Oh, how much is it? Oh, over $10 million for a home.
It's probably 1.6 just for that piece of land.
Dude, more than that. More than that just for the land.
We drove past it too.
More than that for just the land.
Yeah, for that piece of land. Yeah.
Easy. So yeah, you're talking 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollar property, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, whatever. Yeah, off of 1.6 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So anyways,
so yeah, college and high school was definitely not unbiased. They definitely.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that I think that people like that.
But I hope this professor does get fired, because then it sets an example, right? Like, if they don't set an example of this professor, then it just goes to show that anyone should be able to do that. Like, anyone should be able to just fuck with the campus Republicans, and that's not right at all.
Yeah, the other thing I think, and now that we're just on a school rant,
sorry about the siren in the back.
Yeah,
we can't really do anything about it.
I really think we need to get better. Like, you shouldn't just be able to go to school and become a professor. That bothers me.
We've talked about this, yeah.
Oh my God, dude. So we had a guy come in, Steve Dye. I switched from accounting and finance to entrepreneurship when I was after I'd started my business, because I did not want to put forth the time it was going to take to get the accounting finance degree in terms of studying, because it took a lot more work than to get like an entrepreneurship degree, because at the time, Ryan and I switched off working 24-hour shifts every other day, so every other day we were working, and so I personally didn't want to spend so the day I'd work, then I had a day of school, and the school was all day long because I had to get all my shit in 3 days. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to spend my whole life only studying and whatever. So anyways, I switched to entrepreneurship so I could get out of school as fast as I could. And we had our teacher, Anne. Was that her name? No.
It doesn't matter her name.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Sorry. Thank you. She was the head of the entrepreneurship program.
Yeah.
She never owned a business in her life. Super nice lady. Never owned a business in her whole life. How are you the head of entrepreneurship?
Right.
It does not make sense. So we had Steve Dye. He owns Senesis, pretty good sized manufacturing company. Wealthy man. He'd been doing entrepreneurship for 20 years.
Yeah.
Over 20 years. So he came in and he did a semester. I ended up working for him for a year. And I asked him, I said, how are you liking teaching? Are you going to do it again? And he's like, yeah, it was fun. It was a cool experience. I always wanted to do it, but I won't be doing it again. And I was like, why is that? He's like, it takes a lot of time away from growing the business and operating the business. So like, it's not on my list of things to do. He's like, I wanted to try it out to see if it is, but it's not for me. I'm like, that makes sense. But the amount I learned from that guy in a semester,
mm-hmm. compared to all your other professors,
exactly. And it really made me think, like, I don't think people should have to do something they don't want to do. However, or like to the caveat of that is him doing that as a form of maybe like giving back. So if there was a way, like I'm just throwing on an example, like if there was a way where in Eau Claire that you could go to every business that's worth $5 million, mm-hmm. every business that has a valuation of $5 million or more, right? Mm-hmm. And if you could do a thing where they switch off, they all do, like, so someone would have to come up with some level of curriculum, but then they're the teachers.
Yeah.
And they come in and they teach for X amount of terms or whatever. And do that in every industry. Not just entrepreneurship, but every industry. Mm-hmm. So like your biology professor, dude shouldn't just be a biology professor for his whole life.
Yeah, no.
Like it should be terms. Like he's got a 2 to 4 year term
mm-hmm.
as a biology professor, and then he has to go back out in the field.
All right.
And after he spends 10 more years in the field, he can come back and do another 2 to 4 year term or whatever.
Well, yeah, and I think because I know a lot of professors get what are they called, sabbaticals?
Yeah, sabbaticals.
And like I remember my like I had to take an anthropology, thank you, anthropology class, and that professor was awesome because he on his sabbatical went to like some little village in South America to learn their culture or whatever, and I was just like, dude, that's so dope, like
so cool.
And some of the biology professors would go do that. Like Todd Wellnut's the one that is doing all the hikes.
Oh, sure, yeah.
He went and did some cool, because he was like mainly ecology.
Sure.
So he went and did like some cool research in the woods.
Yeah.
So I mean, some professors do go and do that with their sabbaticals, but
Right.
Sabbatical or sabbatical?
Sabbatical.
Sabbatical.
Yeah.
I always wondered that. So yeah, I do know some professors, but like, you're telling me that an English teacher is gonna go study more English? Like, no, they're probably gonna just fuck off their sabbatical.
Dude, that's the stuff that bothers me. I don't think you should be like, I'm gonna start pissing people off. I don't think you should be able to be a teacher. Not you personally.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I don't think that you should go to school for 4 years and be a teacher.
I don't think it's enough time.
Dude.
Unless, I think it's enough time if that's strictly all you're doing.
Nope.
But teachers are doing all these stupid GEs and all these other bullshit things you don't need.
Nope. I think to be a teacher, you have to go out and live for 10, 20 years before you can be a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
You know, I can't disagree with you because a 22-year-old should not be able to teach a 5-year-old.
I don't give a 22-year-old can teach a 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Fuck no, dude.
Yeah.
I think, I believe there's things they can teach, okay? And maybe they can be a substitute teacher or something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Something like that. No, dude, you got to go, whatever you plan to teach, say you want to be a Phi Ed teacher. All right, let's do that. You want to be a Phi Ed teacher. Cool. You don't get to teach Phi Ed unless you've been a coach for X amount of years, been an athletic trainer, you've been a personal trainer, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
You've been a part of sports, you've been a part of like health and wellness, and you've got a track record of, let's say, 10 years experience. Let's say 10 years minimum experience.
Yeah.
So you got 10 years experience doing this. Okay, now you can be a PE teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you want to be a health teacher and you're not fit, trim, and in shape,
Yeah.
you can't be a health teacher. Hey, is your BMI under 20? No. Then no, you will not be a health and wellness teacher.
Right.
I personally think it would be 20 for women and 12 for men, but that's me personally.
Yeah.
I could allow if they're on a bulk for a competition or something, but yeah, dude, like, I think it's bullshit how lenient we are with like
Teachers.
qualifications.
Yeah.
Teachers especially, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting to think of like we've talked about it, like I didn't have I feel like I could tell my brain fully developed at 26.
Yeah.
But like you've said the same thing. So I don't think you should be able to teach kids until you're 26 at least. At least.
Let me also 100%. Let me add on to that by this. You and I used to want to do coaching. And it was like in our vision to be coaches, right? Dude, I would say the last 2 years. And you tell me how you feel about this. The last 2 years, I have removed that. Like, it's still on my original vision, whatever. That's not like, I have zero interest in coaching. Zero. I do not think I should be coaching for 10 years, 15 more years.
There's so many more things that are a bigger priority in our lives for me.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything's more important than that.
But like, we don't have everything figured out yet.
No, dude.
So why should I be telling someone what to do when we don't even have it figured out?
That's what I'm saying. I know people who start coaching and like do coaching shit in their early 20s. And I'm like, no. I could see coaching like being like a trainer, like a personal trainer, or like coaching in sports. Obviously not a head position by any means, but like assistant coaches and stuff. I see all that. I'm with all that.
But like business or life,
Fuck no. Especially life.
Yeah. We
and
haven't gone.
business, dude.
We haven't gone through enough of it yet.
No, dude. It's like, dude, in business too, it's like we talk about it. Sure, okay, you stumbled into owning an 8-figure business. You stumbled into building an 8-figure business in 5 years, say, right? All right. In 10 years from then, if you still have that business and it's grown and it's operating way better, then yes, feel free to coach. I want to see how the fuck that plays out over the next 10 years. So I'm going to tell you what, dude, it probably ain't looking sweet. Most of the time, it ain't looking sweet.
No.
So I don't know, dude. It's just interesting as I've aged. 26 is when I grew up. And then I would say 28 is when like a lot of real, like I kept growing eye-opening of like, what the fuck, like how the world should be.
Yeah.
Got no business coaching at 30 years old.
Nope.
0. And that's how I feel.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like I believe in giving advice from what we've seen that's worked for us.
Yeah.
Like the podcast, shit like that, absolutely. But I'm saying like one-to-one coaching.
No.
Nah, dude.
No.
Nah.
I'm just not like, yeah, like I said, we don't have it all figured out. I'm not confident enough to like be like, you should put all your faith and trust in me. But I'll gladly like put my input in. Like, yeah, if someone comes and asks us questions, for sure, I'll gladly tell you what we've tried, what we haven't tried.
Yep.
Like, whatever. But yeah, I couldn't fully coach someone.
No. And we don't have time for it.
No.
It'd be foolish.
It would be foolish.
Dude, it's like like, how the hell are you supposed to be a coach if your shit ain't ironed out?
Right.
You know, if your shit ain't fucking gold.
Right. If you're 200 pounds and a 30-40% BMI.
For a chick, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be a personal trainer.
Fucking dude. Preach, baby. Preach. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, it's stuff like that
we need to be more strict with qualifications.
I think so.
Have you seen the ad making fun of the U.S. in China?
No.
Oh.
Where?
Say it.
China.
They have an advertisement going around right now making fun of what's happening right now. So like us like putting these tariffs on China.
Yeah.
So it's like all these fat white people in factories working like as if like they look like the big Chinese factories that you see.
Yeah.
Like tons of people at sewing machines, people putting together phones.
Yeah.
And it's a whole bunch of fat white people in them.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it just says, "Make America Great Again."
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's these ads making fun of what we're doing right now. But then I saw a reel on Instagram this morning of a lady in China showing how they're already starting to close some of the warehouses and some of the factories in China. So it was like this factory, you could see all the sewing machines empty, completely empty. So like people have been getting letters from their workplaces saying that they're calling it a holiday right now.
Yeah.
But
is that good or bad?
I mean, if they stop employing and working people, then we have to move manufacturing back here.
Oh, yeah. So you think they're doing that as a tactic to fuck us?
Closing their factories? Yeah. No, I think like...
the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are causing it.
Ah, that makes sense.
So I don't know like if these U.S. businesses are like closing their like manufacturing down already or what. I don't know.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's interesting. I you know, some of the stuff I think about with that, and I think Andy was talking about on his podcast, of like, how the fuck did we think it was okay to let China manufacture our shit?
Dude, and we've like been talking, and this is not the first time this has come up, where we're like, why does China manufacture so much of our shit? Because the whole chip shortage, remember that?
Yeah.
And we're like, why isn't there a place here that makes it? I think there is now, actually.
Okay. But oh yeah, and like so, and the biggest thing that Andy brought up that was such a good point is they're communist. They're a communist regime. Their country is communist. Mm-hmm. Okay. Business 101, dude. We talk about this all the time. If you do not align with your morals and values, you should not do business together. Or you should be. Let me rephrase that. You can do business together. You should not be business partners.
Right.
Okay? Do business together. You should not be business partners. So, essentially, we're partners with China because we gave them all of our manufacturing because it was cheaper to manufacture over there and ship in than it was to manufacture here. Okay. We made them a partner. We don't agree morals, values, how to run a country with them, but we gave them all of our critical manufacturing, laid off millions of people. Real fucking smart, guys.
Yep.
Real fucking smart. I don't know who did that, but whoever the president was that of that time, dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just the fact that we haven't been giving, like, we tax these big companies so much money. I feel like has to be part of the reason of why we've allowed that to happen. You know what I mean? You're too busy typing. Sean can't do two things at once.
Keep going. It was Reagan. That's what I thought. Fucking idiot.
That makes sense. Dude, here's another good thing I saw on Instagram this morning. I think it looked like some presidential candidate, but it might have been, I don't know, but it was this older commercial.
Sure.
And the guy was talking, and he said this woman and her daughter came up to him, and he asked, like, what is her dream? Or, like, if you were president, what would you do? And she said that she would want to, help the homeless man down the street and give him food and shelter. And he said, okay, why don't you come mow my lawn? I'll pay you $50. And then you can go give that $50 to the homeless man for him to get food and shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "How do you like the sound of that?" And she's like, "Well, why don't you just hire the homeless man and he can earn the $50 to pay for his shelter and food?" And it's just like, yep, no shit.
I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so true.
It's so true.
I saw a dad teach his kids that.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. I get it. There are, we worked in the group homes. We know there are people that, yes, we should contribute some to help them because they can't take care of themselves.
There's a population that, yes, I believe so.
But it is a lot smaller than what we're paying for.
And yes, and all the medications, all the things in our environment, the shit we're consuming, the vaccines we're getting, everything like that, is making that percentage go up.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to address that. Like, I haven't heard much about RFK Jr. lately.
Yeah.
But that needs to be, those things need to be addressed.
I think he's working with, I saw something about how they're changing the vaccine schedule.
Good.
Because I think he made the FDA release that there are some vaccines that they never actually tested to make sure they were safe for kids.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's shit like that, dude. It's like the percentage of people needing help has only gone up.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about people like boomers as they age. No. I'm talking like young people with mental illness has gone up a lot.
Yeah, but we've also made it where they don't have to contribute to society.
Absolutely.
But I mean, think about all the people we've seen at the group homes. You're telling me that they can't stuff letters?
Well, there's a lot of them.
They can't bag groceries?
A lot of them could.
There's so many simple things that they could do in society.
Yeah.
That we just kind of don't let them do. Remember, they used to be greeters at Walmart.
I remember.
I miss the greeters at Walmart.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's definitely things they could do, and they. Anyways, it's just inefficiencies in the government, and I really hope Doge gets it squared away.
Yeah.
But my truck's done, and I'm super jacked.
You wanted to end on a high note there, didn't you?
I'm fucking jacked, dude. That made my
See, you should get an orange wrap, and then you can
look like that Raptor.
Yeah. I mean, I know you don't have a Raptor, but you can make it look similar to that.
Raptors are cool.
Yeah, but according to Rod Bailey, they suck. So,
bro, Rob Bailey convinced me to only buy Toyotas.
100%, dude.
What's funny is when I watched Rob Bailey years ago and all he drove was Toyotas, I was like, I want Toyotas. Then he moved to Fords, and I was like, I want Toyotas. Mm-hmm. And then he said all the issues he's had with his Fords, and I'm like, yep, I still want Toyotas. Mm.
The unfortunate thing is he can't haul the stuff that he has with Toyotas.
Rob. Yeah. I could.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you haven't, guys, it's actually very interesting. Rob Bailey is daily vlogging every single day this year.
Yep.
So I have probably only watched like 5 of them, and then the other day I was like, I'm gonna start from the beginning. So today I watched 11 and 12. So
yeah.
But yeah, they're just like short little 10, 15 minute max videos. And he actually is like, some of them, it's just like what he does throughout the day. And then others, he includes like education. So I think 2 I just watched were being a content creator and how to get sponsorships.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We should rewatch those, actually. Mm-hmm. They're really good. So yeah, and they were both like 11, 12 minutes long. And it was just like, oh, damn, dude, that's really helpful.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So yeah, highly suggest watching them. Like Shaun said, I think on day 100 or something, the one we recently watched is the one that his Raptor dies. And he's just like, we've had all these other Raptors have transmission issues and we keep buying them and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, why keep buying them? Like, at this point, this is your fault.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah, I highly suggest watching them. They're really cool.
Sweet. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you.